Hey everybody, welcome back to a new video of mine. So we are playing Armored Core 6 on the ASUS ROG Ally, and we will be going through all the settings which can be done to get the best frame rate out of this device. So to start with, I have this in the 1080p mode here. So as you can see, it's 1080p and we are in the high settings. So this is actually fairly playable. As you can see on the top right corner, it will be slightly, you know, small for you, I guess, but you'll be able to see it regardless. So and I also have it like plugged in and in 30 watts, because I'm guessing like most of you guys will be playing it in plugged in mode. So in this mode it is giving us like 40 frames per second, but that's not going to happen all the time, because the frame rate will drop and it will go to basically something like 30, which you are seeing right now. So 30 and 28 fps. So this is the ideal resolution which you get when you play it on 1080p and high settings. So this is actually very playable. Let's reduce it to another setting. So 1080p and medium. So 1080p medium, let's see how many frames we get.
Yeah, they'll be coming soon. Got us on the run. We're being attacked!
So as you can see, in this setting we are getting something around about 30 frames per second, and this is also like very playable. So if you want to play this game in 1080p mode, then I would recommend using the medium settings, because in most of the cases you'll get more than 30 fps. But if you prefer the high settings, that's okay too, and just the frame rate will drop to around 25 sometimes. But in some harder areas it may like go to close to 20 fps. So that is okay, because that only happens in certain areas, but in most of the areas you'll get more than close to 30 fps in high 1080p. But if you are like playing in medium 1080p, then you are like, you can see that I'm getting more than 30 fps. So this is, I would say, an ideal setting if you want to play in 1080p mode. So now let's shift to 720p, because this game I would say is uh, you know great when you can get something close to 60 fps. So straight away I can see that we are getting more than 50 fps, and we are using 720p at medium settings. So here I would say that this is like and really a really ideal setting, because we are getting close to 60 fps in majority of the cases. But when you are in a combat area, or if a lot of things are happening on the screen, then the frame rate will drop to around 50 fps, which you are seeing right now. So I would say that getting close to 60 fps is a better thing in this game. And let's shift to high settings in 720p mode. So now we are in high settings in 720p, and for me personally, this is how I will be playing this game. So the graphics look like really nice, and it's 720p, but to be honest, I don't see a lot of difference between 720p and 1080p on this screen, because it's like really clear and really crisp. Like, to be precise, you will see a very minute difference, but that is, you can completely ignore it. Just when you are in the gameplay, concentrating on your mission, just blowing up stuff, then yeah, you won't notice anything when you are playing in 720p. And as you can see, we are getting comfortably above 50 fps. And in the later areas of this game where the graphics, if there is a lot of dust or fog in the area, this will drop. It will drop to around 35-40, let's say, but not less than 30. So no matter what you do in this setting, you won't get below 30 fps, and that's for sure. So I would say that medium and high, uh, you can just try with medium and high. I would say I will go with the high settings in 720p mode, and that is the best way to play this game. And now let's talk about the battery mode. So I'm going to unplug this. So this is on battery. Let me increase the brightness. Okay, and it's in 15 watt mode, as you can see. And to be honest, this game doesn't play nicely in 15 watts. So there is like nobody on the screen right now, no enemies, so you are not seeing any jittering or lagging. But if there are like lot of enemies and stuff, then this game won't play nicely. The frame rate will drop to around 20s. So 15 watt mode, it won't work nicely in 15 watts if you are on battery. So I would say that you make a setting for 18 watts. So if you don't know how to do that, just go into your armory crate, go into settings, and in operating mode, go into manual, and here you can just slide this to 18 and then rename this to 18 watts. Rename, and then click this check mark and click on yes. So this will enable the 18 watts, or you can you can just adjust it to whatever you want here. But as I said, 18 watts is what we need. Let's go back into the game, and here as you can see, we now have the 18 watts enabled, and in 18 watts this will run nicely. Let's see in what settings we are right now. So we are in 720p mode and high settings. So as you can see, we are pulling something close to 20. So this will drop to 18 after some time. And as you can see, the frame rate here, we are getting close to 60 without any problem. So 18 watts, I would say, is a good point to set this game at. And if you want to play in 1080p mode, then also I would say it will work in 18 watts, but it won't work in 15 watts. So that's for sure. So 15 watts is a no-go for this game. You just have to like make a manual setting for 18 watts. But again, in the battery mode, it will only run for around an hour or maybe just 1.5 hours. That's it. So ideally, most of the time we will be like plugged in. But since this is a handheld, I know that we sometimes play it in the handheld mode on the couch, sleeping sometimes. Yeah, so if you want to do that, then just 18 watts is how you do it. So in short, the summary is to play this game in 720p mode and in high settings. That's how you do it. You can try with the 1080p option, but for me, as I said, 1080p is, I don't see a lot of difference. And frame rates, I would say, if you are getting something close to 60, then that will surely improve your the quality of the game, the fun you will receive from this game. And one more thing is, forget about the low settings. The low settings, they look crap, to be honest, so just don't even bother enabling the low settings here. uh, Low is like really bad in this game, so I would stick with medium and high. Maximum, if you are like comfortable with 30 fps, then you can go with maximum, but yeah, maximum and high I don't see a lot of difference, so just stick with high. 720p mode, 18 watts, plugged in or plugged out, it's up to you, and that's how you do it. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.